From a shiny new inventory screen, to both Ironclads being in production, and the ability to remotely disable components, there's a lot in August's PU report. We all know gamers don't read, so here's all the highlights to listen to whilst you're doing whatever it is you're doing. Just wash your hands afterwards. There are currently 3 unannounced ships being worked on, with one approaching its final review. The Paladin has entered the Lot 0 stage, the work on the Wolf's component base is progressing, and both the Ironclad and the Ironclad Assault are being worked on. The Aurora and Hammerhead are being brought up to gold standard, and the Hull B has entered pre-production following approval of its updated concept, though there's no word on what's changed. There's also a really interesting line after the Apollo medevac and triage were mentioned, which says some of the team moved on to a related but unannounced ship. Apollo variant maybe, possibly another medical ship, who knows. The RSI Perseus is about to hit its Lot 0 gate review, and pre-production work continues on the Drake Kraken. Good news for FPS players, they think they've fixed the bug where NPCs execute audio triggers when they're dead, but you are going to have to endure Copion corpses growling at you for a little longer because the fix hasn't made it into the PU build just yet. Ship combat AI is getting some improvements, including more maneuvers than just circling the target. A new creature is continuing through the pipeline, and whilst we don't know precisely what it is, we know it'll be hostile, as the core gameplay team have been, and I quote, working to close out the functionality required to support a new creature's unique behaviours and attack moves. There's a medgel dispenser in the works too. If you're wondering what that is, it's a material that will be required for respawning. Medgel will be implemented into medical ships as part of an upcoming change to medical gameplay. Brand new mission givers are almost here as well, along with SSN news broadcasts that will be visible during timed events. In gameplay terms, further work has taken place on freight elevators, and I have to say that I've seen improvements during my gameplay. Most of the public freight elevators I've been to this patch have been working, so they're certainly making headway. We'll be able to see the rate of heat change for components through the engineering terminals, which is a nice detail for all the aspiring engineers out there. Interestingly, they're adding the ability to disable components for ships that have been claimed through insurance. Items that have been disabled in this way will display a countdown timer until they become bricked, when they're claimed by the original owner, which I'm sure will keep the pirates into stealing ships, supplied with something to complain about for the foreseeable future. They've implemented an offline version of the blueprint service that will be used in crafting, which will do the job until the live service is developed. And in a very understated line but very big news, they've also finished the first playable prototype of crafting in the PU. NPCs now fly using control service when they're in atmosphere, which is a big step forward to delivering this feature. And in Maelstrom news, destroyed ship parts now reduce thrust effectiveness, which will stop people destroying non-essential parts of their ship for improved acceleration. The inventory system is seeing quite a dramatic refresh of the visuals and getting improved functionality. It'll allow us to loot from multiple nearby inventory containers at the same time. Old missions are being brought back into the verse as well, after many of them disappeared in patch 4.0. Personally, I really hope the PI Wanted contract is one of them. There are tutorial missions being developed for a new gameplay mechanic being released in a future patch. An interesting touch, but it leaves us excruciatingly short on detail as to precisely what that mechanic is. It looks like instancing might be further away than we all thought. After having seen cooperative zones on the roadmap for our current patch, the report contains this line. Online technology also started the discovery phase for the instancing feature. Disappointing news really to find out we're still some way from implementation. Story-wise, there's a new hostile faction in the works that will be revealed in an upcoming patch. Whilst it doesn't say any more than that, my money's on them being the big bad at the end of the current story arc, and I'm looking forward to shooting them in the face. As always, the link to the report is in the description below, but that's it for this episode of Flash Traffic. You've been watching Drinkers with Gaming Problems. Thank you very much for stopping by. I'll see you soon.